Urgency come now. It has to.
It's now or never. O'Gara looking for the corner. And finding it.
Classic O'Gara. That's just what they need. An opportunity now for O'Connell and O'Callaghan to get lifted high in the air, to put pressure on the Georgian line out. They'll look to turn this over. Great kick. Didn't need to chase the game around. He understands that. He's been around long enough. Get some territory. They had no territory in the first half, had hardly any possession.
Ireland grateful that Wallace has now returned, despite that yellow block on your screen still. Right on cue. So Ireland seeking to challenge. Securely taken by Urashadze though. There's a whack in the eye too for Kopoliani, who's down on his haunches. Looking a bit groggy for Georgia.
First sign of an increase of heart rate from the scrum half there. Sam Karadze had a little bit more time to make the box kick. Instead, he just hooked it over his shoulder. Gives possession back to the Irish. The huddle there, O'Connell will be in the heart of that. They'll be making the call as the substitutes arrive on the field. Reinforcements for the Georgians. Fresh legs.
I thought that was okay, but
well, let's get the touchline perspective. We can bring in Gabriel Clark. Gabriel.
Bananas and oranges you'd expect, but an apple apparently. A few of the players like an apple, and that's what they were eating at half-time.
Bit of old school. Bit of old school. Sliced oranges in my day.
Ireland with a much more bitter taste in their mouths at the moment. Look at Georgia again. Disrupting, causing consternation and discomfort, and no small measure of embarrassment, and that'll be a Georgian penalty.
Oh, no. O'Connell furious with O'Callaghan in the background. Again, the senior players, we've seen O'Driscoll's anger at the pass from Stringer. We've seen O'Connell getting cross with his second row partner. These are the times when you're down. These are the times when you find out once your bonding, your teamwork has gone. You've been together along. But look at that. What's he thinking? What is he thinking? Yes, counter up. Yes, compete. But you can't dive straight over the top. Just gifts the ball to Georgia. Lets them relieve pressure without any hard work. Shvelidze there, who came through and nicked the line out. Nick the tap down, that 50-50 ball we've talked about. So hungry.
Well, that's Kopoliani, who got a whack on the head. And Giorgadze. Throw at the line out. Shvelidze, who's wearing number 2 and has been hooking, can move into one of the prop forward positions, and looks likely he will do so.
Palm of the hand, rather. That was the use of the boot. He's in the bottom, just collapsing it. You take your chances if you try and collapse them all.
Yeah. Okay.
Just slap the player. Sorry.
Yeah.
Slap the player
with his hand.
With his hand.
Yeah.
And then 7 wide.
Judge Wright is saying is the flat of the palm.
Okay, so it's going to be a penalty against White. For the slap, it's just a penalty.
Just a penalty.
What about the white foot on body?
It's a penalty. I wouldn't
So it's just a penalty. Thank you, captain. Please, it's going to be a penalty to Green. Okay, captain and his player.
The Antipodean touch judge.
We spoke about retaliation there with the player standing on feet. That's the same. I'll deal with discipline. Slap and then a tread. So the penalty is against White. No more, please. Okay. Slap.
No, we tried not to stop.
You cannot stand on the player on the floor. Okay. You cannot stand the player on the floor. Back 10, please.
In the absence of the injured captain Urashadze, the only member of the Georgian side that speaks English. Eloshvili, number 22, is going to come on very shortly. Utility back. Maybe. That could be a turning point for Ireland.
Big line out here. Been turned over on the previous one in Georgian territory. They must be solid. Irish backline very flat. They might be going to Horgan. Oh,
And
brilliant
down
move.
to Wallace, into space. David Wallace over the 22 for Ireland. Quick ball for the Irish too, through the hands of O'Gara, Gordon Darcy, Brian O'Driscoll, Gervin Dempsey. Dempsey brought down 6 metres out.
Stay ready, mate.
Stringer the other way this time, to Paul O'Connell.
That's a big run.
This is more like it. More of a rampage from Ireland. Through the hands, out to Gervin Dempsey, who maybe was taken a little high, referee unconcerned. It's play on with Stringer. O'Callaghan. And Georgia fighting with their lives, their hearts, all their spirit. Shane Horgan, Brian O'Driscoll. Ball went forward.
And again, the frustration. You're looking out in the backs. Gordon Darcy throwing his hands down. The defence, Urukashvili got in on the short side. You thought they were in, the Irish. He came from nowhere. He covered round the back. There he appears, making the hit. He'd come from the other side of the ruck, defending their line with everything, and then the forward pass, the interplay between O'Driscoll and Horgan, so often resulting in tries. On this occasion, the pressure, the defensive line held and forced the error. The longer this clock ticks on, the more self-belief the Georgians will get.
Still on me. Let's go.
Georgia taking casualties on board. McAnally
Hands away now.
plunges on it.
Number 11.
They are stood onside.
Wayward ball back to Urukashvili. He's got a boot on him, all right.
Look at the line. Look at the chase from the Georgians up the middle.
Shane Horgan back to Gervin Dempsey.
The number 8 has run 70 metres to put pressure on the kickback from Dempsey.
Kvirikashvili.
And he has absolutely boomed that one.
There is no mistake who the neutrals in this crowd are supporting.
As the confidence grows in the first try, Kvirikashvili nudged a couple tentatively off the side of the boot there with time, 10-7 up. A conversion and a penalty under his belt. Set himself. Ireland playing, the backline is still retreating, the ball's tapped down. Another try here, and Ireland is seriously struggling to come back.
6 green, thank you. Back you go now, back you go.
Georgia disruptive.
Gord Godsley showing O'Callaghan how to counter ruck. Staying on his feet, going through the middle.
O'Gara's kick and the quick line out to Shkinin, scorer of the interception try.
Every yard gained, cheered by the crowd.
There's a grim fascination to this. Ireland with all the pedigree and all the hope.
Hands away, green.
And let's face it, all the talent when they put it together with the established combinations. Horgan goes back, being pressurised by Shkinin. Now, which is the established World Rugby force here and which is the emerging nation?
Sam Karadze saw the space in behind, put it on his left foot. Shane Horgan couldn't get back in time, and there's Shkinin. Try score has been magnificent.
And Datunashvili, whilst 2 of his teammates received treatment, urging the crowd to give them more support.
As the Irish simply sit in stunned silence, unbelieving of what's happening in front of them. They cannot believe this team that's won triple crowns aplenty over the past few years has turned over some of the biggest nations in the world. But has occasionally struggled on the road, is now finding itself in Bordeaux on the wrong end of a 10-7 scoreline to Georgia, who changed 11 players from the team against the Argentines with a view to winning against Namibia. Surely not in their wildest dreams could they believe at this stage this game against Ireland was theirs for the taking.
Change at hooker. Jerry Flannery comes on for Rory Best for Ireland. And the other 6 available replacements are busy sprinting up and down the touchline.
Just hold it, Martin.
in readiness to be sent into the fray.
And you can sense a sense of confusion. Best there, thought he was going back on. He'd had his treatment, he was head towards the line-out. Couldn't believe it. I'm all right, ref, I'm all right. No, your card's been held up. Off you go. Flannery couldn't get on quick enough.
Jogadze at the Georgian lineouts, but it's overthrown. And Ireland bring it clear with David Wallace.
Advantage.
Ireland with an advantage. Kick is by O'Driscoll. Chase was sedate.
Oh, magnificent. Magnificent. Because they'll be so disappointed. They had that line out on the Irish line. O'Connell and O'Callaghan did extremely well. They gave them no shot, they gave them no target. In the end, the hooker, knowing the referee would penalise him if he didn't get the ball in quickly, just tossed it in, flew over the top of everyone. David Wallace sensed the chance, set off upfield, but the pass again from O'Gara to O'Driscoll, not in front of the man, to the man. Stops the runner, put it in front of him, put it in the space.
Stringer to O'Gara.
Oh, huge hole, huge hole.
Now, possibilities for Gordon Darcy. David Wallace at his shoulder. And Ireland sense the possibility of regaining the lead in this game. O'Driscoll, Horgan, through the hands of Flannery to Gervin Dempsey, who escapes and scores for Ireland to relief right around this stadium in Bordeaux.
The Georgian organisation defence just well. Kirikashvili, the fly half, wasn't there for that line-out. They didn't adjust well at all. Darcy just coasted through the simple early ball. Wallace, as he always is, on support, on the inside shoulder. The quick ball came back. Flannery, brilliant hands from the replacement hooker. Dempsey, not the biggest man in the world, and a mistake from Sam Karadze, misses the tackle. Suddenly Ireland find themselves in front in a game perhaps you feel they shouldn't be. The Georgians are beginning to tire. Can the Irish ram this advantage home?
Gervin Dempsey in front of relieved faces clad in the green of Ireland. There's been disbelief in the air this evening. Now Ireland need to show belief. Ronan O'Gara adds on the 2 extra points for the conversion. Now Paul Wallace is sitting, I don't know whether he shares in the general disbelief in our London studio. Paul, what do you make of it so far, to coin a phrase?
Yeah, well, I think that try might have just saved Ireland. They seem to be panicking. We had O'Driscoll shouting at Stringer. We had Paul O'Connell shouting at Donegal O'Callaghan when it really needed, cool heads. I think that try might settle Ireland. There's still enough time on the clock to get that bonus point, but what they need to do is concentrate on this kick-off, get down there and just start, get ahead and stay ahead and just start building it without trying to force it. Just play the simple rugby, get down there, and when they get the opportunities, the Georgians are getting tired, and then look for the space.
What was Paul Wallace just saying? What was he saying? Gordon Darcy's claimed that as he passed, that Karasharava knocked it down. Wayne Barnes saying no, the initial movement of the pass was forward. That came, Kivirikashvili was slow into the line. Ireland spotted the opportunity, but again, the defence from the number 12. Sensational evening against 2 world-class centres.
And pause. Crouch.
Expect a big man to try and run down O'Gara's channel here.
Ball's gone.
Georgia with Datunashvili. This poor performance coming from a team representing a country with just 8 rugby pitches and 300 registered rugby players.
Staggering performance. Staggering performance.
It does help that so many of them play in French club rugby. In fact, There are more French-based players in the Georgian squad than there are in the French squad.
Yeah, had to be a turnover there, had to be a turnover. Poor position in the tackle, good defensive work, turned him round.
Watch stop number 6. Number 6 replacement.
Ilya Maisaradze being replaced by